In this video, you will learn G major in first position with alternate finger positions, G major bar chords and the F shape, and C major in first position.
Hey, in this video we're going to learn to play in the key of G. We're going to learn G in a number of different ways, and we're going to learn how to play C major in first position. So let's get started. For the first G shape, we're going to use the same three fingers we used making our A shape, our D shape, and our E shape. We're going to use our index finger, our middle finger, and our ring finger. If we take our index finger, place it on the second fret of the A string, take our middle finger, place it on the third fret of the E string, and take our ring finger and place it on the third fret of the high E string, you now have a G chord. Using the beginner way of making a G chord may make it easy for you to use the first three fingers, but it traps the pinky or the little finger and doesn't provide a lot of use when you play the G chord. Let's take a look at the second way to make a G. If we take our index finger and remove it from the equation, and like we made our bar shapes, use our middle finger, our ring finger, and our little finger to make the shape for the G chord, we'll free up the index finger. By taking your middle finger and placing it on the second fret at the A string, your ring finger placing it on the third fret of the low E string, take your little finger, place it on the third fret at the high E string, we now have a G chord. With my index finger free, I can now take it, place it on my first middle C on the first fret of the B string, and now I have a suspended fourth. I can also remove my middle finger and I can use it in tandem with my index finger like this. Another way in which we can play this G chord is to engage our little finger by placing the little finger on the E string at the third fret, take our ring finger, place it on the third fret of the G string, take our middle finger, put it on the third fret of the low E string, and take our index finger and place it on the second fret of the B string. This is a very useful shape of the G chord when using it in association with the key of G and moving between the 1, the G, and the 4, the C. Remember, we can also make a G chord by using our E shape and making a bar chord at the third fret. We use our index finger to make the bar. We take our middle finger, place it on the fourth fret on the G string, take our ring finger, place it on the fifth fret of the A string, and take our pinky or our little finger and place it on the fifth fret of the G string. By making our E shape and using our bar chord, we now have a G chord. Recall we can also use our A shape by going down to the 10th fret on the A string and using our A shape bar chord. Recall we can also use the D shape to make a bar chord. Recall we can also take our F shape out of the G-shaped bar chord, and we can make a G that way as well. You can also use your thumb over the top with the F shape and make a G chord in the same way. By learning to play in the key of G, you've now added the G shape to the other shapes that you have learned. The last thing to learn is the C shape, and we'll start by learning it in first position. To make a C shape in first position, we'll use our same 3 fingers we used to make our original A, D, and E shapes with our index finger, our middle finger, and our ring finger. We take our index finger, place it on the 1st fret of the B string, take our middle finger, place it on the 2nd fret of the D string, and place our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. We now have a C major. We can also make a C shape, which is called a C add 9, which is used quite frequently in the key of G by taking our index finger and placing it on the 3rd fret of the E string, take our ring finger, placing it on the 3rd fret of the B string, take our index finger, place it on the 2nd fret of the D string, and take your middle finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the A string. Now you have a C add 9. This chord is very useful in conjunction with the G shape where we added the D on the B string to that chord. You can use these 2 shapes in combination when playing in the key of G or in the key of C, since the G is a 1 in the key of G, the C is the 4 in the key of G, and in the key of C, the C is the 1 and the G is the 5. So it's very common to move back and forth between these 2 shapes. Adding the G and the C shapes will help you to expand your ability to understand the fretboard. That's all the time we have. The outro music's coming. See you in the next video.